Hey, welcome to this week's live stream. But I'm going to tell you, in full disclosure, this is pre-recorded, and it's because of my work schedule. And I just wanted to just kind of give that to you up front. But one of the things I wanted to work on this week was this copy and draw type of printables. I know they're popular, and some would even say that they're oversaturated. But I think if you were to take and get into some of the different niches and categories, themes, more in particular themes, you would probably find some very good profitable type printables or KDP books if you use these as interiors for those activity books. So I wanted to go into Canva, just give you an overview of how I would approach this and to create these, because they're actually quite simple to create. And yeah, so let's go ahead and jump into Canva and see how we could go about doing this using grids. All right, let's go ahead. And we are there. Okay, as you can see, I'm just going to go ahead and zoom in just a skosh. And you can see here that this is 8.5 by 11. And what I've done is I created a grid with some letters at the top and numbers on the side. You can do this however. You could do numbers on the top and then numbers on the side, or letters, on the top and letters on the side, or vice versa. I mean, it's just all on what you would like to do and how you think it would work for you. All right. Here's a little bit of a more advanced grid style copy draw type printable. I had used the features of the grid, and I put the text inside the grid box. Just kind of give it a little more polish, a little bit more, I'm trying to think of what the word is, like a little more fun looking, organized, I guess is what I'm trying to say on that. As you can see, I've used some mandalas. You can also find these type of mandalas in the elements, and I'll show you in elements. Well, I think it was elements that you can type these in. These are mandalas that I've created in Adobe Illustrator, and so yeah, that's how that was done. But you can do this with any type of picture, any type of drawing, or graphic, that sort of thing. Let's see. We'll go over here to this grid. This is just a standard grid, and I got this grid by typing in grid. I think it was it grid? Let's go ahead and try this. Grid. Oops. All right, graph. Graph design, I think is what it was. Maybe not. Should have wrote this down. Graph paper. This is a pro feature. Actually, let's go ahead and delete that. Let's see if we can add this. It's not too bad. Is there another one here? I have to try to remember how I had got that. Is it just graphics? Let's see. Yeah, we can do this. So it'll be under graphics. A little trick that I had learned is you can take in, if you hover over in Canva, you'll see these three little dots. They call that it's not the hamburger. I don't know. It's three little dots. And if you hover over that and you click on the three little dots on the side there, let's go ahead and zoom this in. Can we zoom? Oh, we can't. So I'm going to zoom that in. But anyways, you go to these three little dots, and it will tell you what some information here. Computer window frames, view more by, and this is the designer. And then you can have, the keywords that they use, like show all keywords. So they use keyword for grid, screen, computer, dynamic frames, desktop, all that sort of stuff. what I like to do is when I find something, like in this case, it would be this frame here, whatever we would like to call it, grid. If I like it, I star it. So that way I have it saved as a one of my starred or one of my favorites. So that way I can quickly find it again if I really want or need it. And so yeah, that's one of the little tricks that I learned recently is just clicking on that little 3 button dots that are there at the side, and then just finding the designer. And you can find out, like maybe you have a favorite designer now, or, like this person here, I would probably use a lot of their designs, and I would favor them, type of thing. So anyways, just to kind of give you a quick overview on that, let's go ahead and work with this grid graph, see what we can do here. So I'm just going to put this in the middle, and I'm going to turn this color into a little bit lighter piece. And let's go ahead and pull this out to the frames. Okay. And then one of the things that I would do is take and go to their text, type in, let's see, my letters. So, oops, I got to put in capitals. I guess you don't have to do capitals. I just want to. Of course, you can put that there, and then I'm just going to duplicate this. Move this over, holding Shift. And on my Mac, I'm using the Alt key, or sorry, Option key. I'm going to hit Command D, and it'll give me the ones that I need. Just kind of tidy those up a little bit. And then I can type in my letters. E, A, B, C, D, E, and then of course there's F. All right. Actually, this is a little too big. Let's scroll this. Let's size this down just a skosh. Let's go to 5.5. Yeah. Let's see. Go to position, and we'll go middle. And then what we could do is we could just line up our letters a little bit better. And the reason why I made this grid smaller is because I want to put the numbers on the side, on the left-hand side. So let's go ahead and highlight those, go position, tidy them up. Let's see, move this over. Let's move that over just to go see what it does. Okay. And then I'm just going to copy this here and do my numbers on the side. Let's copy that down, holding the Shift. Hit Command D. My number. And of course, there's 4, 5, and there's a 6. So let's go ahead and tidy these up just a skosh. All right, so there we have our grid. And what I'll do is I would take and highlight all these and then group them. So I'm going to hit Command G, or you can go up here. You can group it or ungroup it. And then that way it's all together. Okay. So we have that. That's building that grid, just using that grid graphic. Now, the way that I've learned in the more recent times being like within the last few weeks, is using grids. Like you can create a grid in Canva. So I've been like pretty excited and really loving the building different grids with different columns. Like a table is basically what it is, like a Excel spreadsheet type table. So I've been really experimenting with that quite a bit, and I think using tables in this case for the copy draw type of printable or KDP book interior would be a benefit because you can get different uh, no, not different, but you can get a lot more squares. You can get a lot more um, customized type of table grid type things. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that over here. Yeah. So over here. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to Canva. And let's go ahead and build that. So I'm just go ahead and add another page. And then what I found is we go to elements, which that's where we are. Then if you scroll down, you're going to see tables. All right. And so that's what you're looking for. So I just use the basic one that's right there at the top. You can always go to see all. I just choose to use this basic, no fill, no special anything type thing like they have here with these type of tables. You could use these if you wanted to, but I'm just going to use the basic grid. So one of the things you could do is you could just customize this, however you want. You can make it a square. And what I'm doing is I'm watching the dimension size. And so let's say I want it 5 inches. And then we'll scroll that to 5 inches by 5 inches. So I have it that way. And then what you would do is, let's go ahead and highlight this grid. I'm just going to click on the outside line. I'm going to do position, do center and middle. And you can see here I have a lot bigger space, a bigger rectangle in this case at the top versus the other sides here. So what you would do is you'd highlight that outside parameter or line and then go to the 3 little dots and what was it? Size of content? Maybe it wasn't. How do I do this? Okay, size columns equally. So we did that. Now I want to do size column equally. Now I'm going to click on the row, and we would do looking for size rows equally. There we go. Size rows equally. So if you want to size the columns equally, you're going to click on the outside. So like I just moved, I just moved this column over here. So what I would do is I would click on the outside perimeter that creates the columns, or the column part of it, and then I would hit the 3 little dots and then size rows equally, or I would come over here on these 3 little dots, size columns equally, and that's where you have that. All right, so lots of different options. Play with it. You'll find what works for you and what 3 little dots to click on. But that's what you're looking for, is the size column equally or the size row equally. All right, and then the same deal would apply in doing your letters and your numbers. So you go over to text, and here we type in like A for our letter, and go ahead and duplicate this over to B. And the nice part about it is, you can make this, as complex or as easy and simple as you like. Varying different ages. And if you've done any type of research on this type of printable or KDP, or book, activity book, you'll notice that there is just all kinds of different levels. That's the beauty of it. It's just an activity. So I'm gonna put my numbers here. And then I got my A, then I'm going to go to my B, and of course I'm going to go to my C. And I'm going to go ahead and group these. I think I can group them. Can I group them? I was having some issues grouping the table with everything. I'm not sure if I can group the table, but I know I can size it together, which is fine. So here I'm going to go 5.5 by 5.5. I'm going to try to. Maybe it won't let me do that because of the letters. It doesn't look like it's going to allow me to group it. Excuse me. So in that case, I guess we're stuck. We're stuck. But that's fine. That's fine. There's always ways to work around it, right? So again, playing with the tables, you can change the color. You can change what would work for you. Let's say I want to do. So I have this table here. I'm not able to do the hashing, but I can do like the border weight. I can change the border weight. Okay, so I can change the top weight. I can change the color, which I'll do here. And let's see. Oops, go change color. And I think it's I think you gotta do each cell in the tables, which is kind of a bummer. I mean, that you have to click on each one of those tables, but that's okay. That's okay. So there we have it. So you can see that I changed the color to make it look a little lighter. Just a little added feature. I was wondering though if you can change this into dotted lines. Nope, you can't. Hopefully Canva will allow us to do that at some point in time in other updates. Okay, so let's recap what I had showed you. This is a graphic. So you can, find the graphic if you wanted to do this type of deal or this type of copy draw printable. And here is using a table. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is duplicate this because I want to do something a little more advanced. I'm just going to move these letters out of the way and move these numbers out of the way as well. Okay. So I have my table and I want to add more columns. So I'm going to do column after, because this one, I want to make this a little more advanced. And let's see, column after. I mean, you could always do column before as well. And then this here would be row. Just got to go to this side. Add row after. Okay. And so click on the outside of the table, do center, middle. And then just going to line these up. So they look somewhat decent. And then once I get this done, I will show you how to put a graphic in there. Or not really a graphic, but a picture. Highlight all those, position, tidy those up. Change this to 5. Do the same thing for the letters. And we'll duplicate these over. I'm going to highlight all those letters. Position, tidy up. And I have to change this to D. And this one to E. Okay. So now the fun part begins, where we get to add our images or pictures or graphics. So I'm not sure if you've ever seen, but if you have a Google Drive, you can take and connect your Google Drive to your Canva account. And I've been doing this a lot more, adding stuff into my Google Drive. And let's see, let's go, where do you find that? I'm going to go to more. If you don't see it, it's going to be on the left-hand side. But if you go all the way down, you'll see the button called More. And then what you would do is you would just scroll till you find, the import your media type of information. And as you can see, there is Google Drive, Google Photos. You can add, if you have a Google Photo account, of course, your Instagram and so forth. Just a lot of different features, a lot of different, or if you have Dropbox too, a lot of different stuff here. But, I'm just amazed all the time of some of the updates, even though that I have a love-hate relationship with Canva. Some of the updates that they're starting to do is just kind of amazing. I can see where Canva, it's, how do I want to put this? It's just really simplifying the process of making printables and interior pages. I'm not going to labor on the idea that, or the fact that I'm an Adobe user and I prefer that, but some of the simpler tasks and features of being able to create templates and so forth in Canva is really quite a benefit. And I'm starting to see that more and more and more with the different features and different elements that they are incorporating as they start to upgrade their graphic design packaging service type thing. So anyways, back to the Google Drive. I'll go ahead and share with you that. So I'm just going to go to my Google Drive, and you can see this is all the information that's in my Google Drive. And I'm going to go down to my Mandala share. And PNG. Yep. So I have different, like I said, different mandalas that I created in Adobe Illustrator. I'll show you, as well as, I think if you go to Elements, let's click on Tables. I should have showed you this first. You type in Mandala. See what we have. So you can see there's different Mandala type of graphics here. If you're a pro user, you'll get more, and you'd be able to use those type of features. But for the case in this, I'm just going to go ahead and click on the free in case you're using the free version. Again, check the terms of service, how you could use these graphics and images for your printables or for your KDP books. And let's see, I like this one. I'm just going to go ahead. This is pretty advanced. I'm going to go ahead and give this a little bit lighter gray color. All right. And so what I would do is I would take, I wonder if I can lock this. Yep. I'm going to lock this grid. Or actually, it's a table. So I'm going to lock the table. All right. And then I'm going to position this somewhat in the middle. I'm going to just try and find the middle version so I have it there. And then what I will do is I will end up scaling this to about where I think it's going to. Let's go ahead and position this in the middle, where it's going to be in the middle. Okay. And then what I would do, let's go ahead and zoom in. Is I'm going to click on here, and then I'm going to crop this in the middle of that image, roughly. All right. And there you have it, just like that. Now, I'm sure you're saying like, okay, well, those squares are not lined up, to where it's the middle. And there's a couple different ways we could make that so that, it is in the middle. So we have like this table line in the middle. One of the ways is to just create a table line, or create another table. And I'm going to go ahead and send this to the back. So position, send to the back. So that way it's under there. You can just leave it the way it is, but you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and add another column, I think is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and unlock my table. And let's go ahead and play with that. So add column before, after, it doesn't really matter. You can see I have now I have another column, so I can move. Actually, I have to position the table to the back, so that way I can grab this image here. And what I will do is just double click into there, find where the crop mark is, which is the top corner, and then I'm going to move it on top of that table line. All right, and there we have the perfect. Well, actually, I got to move this to the back to make it perfect. So backwards. So now we have the perfect copy and draw. So we have 1, 2, 3 going across to the right, and then 1, 2, 3 going across to the left. And yeah, that's like the easiest way to create this activity printable, using the table. Using the graphic table, I guess I'm trying to figure out what the actual good name for this would be. Yeah, it's just a graphic table is what I'm going to say, because you have the table, and then you have the graphic table. Same thing would apply, except here we have this all grouped, and you can do the same thing. So let's go ahead and scroll up here. Let's see if we can use another mandala. Let's find a cute one here. I like this one. And I'm just going to go ahead and change the color here. You don't have to change the color if you don't want to, but it's totally up to you. Again, just kind of finding the middle of that. And I'm just going to go ahead and see if we can make this a little bit bigger. Find the middle there. Going to click in the middle of click on the actual graphic, and then I'm just going to move the crop line right to the middle. There you have that. So the idea would be to continue on drawing what you see on the right and then what you see on the left, or what you want to see on the left, or vice versa, however you want. We could always like flip this, a 90 degree, well, 180 actually, and then move it over, doing the same thing. So that way they would be able to draw on the right what they see on the left. One of the things that I have seen in the copy draw type of printable is, I'm just going to go ahead. Actually, I'm just going to duplicate this one here. So duplicate this, and then I'm going to take out this image. So position my grid to the back. I'm going to take out that image, and we'll just highlight all this and then scale it down to a small area here. Okay, so what they'll do is they'll take and create like your top grid. So it's gonna be cut in half of your paper, your page. Like I say, this is 8.5 by 11. So I would have that at the top, and then I'm just gonna duplicate this. Oops, maybe. See if I can duplicate it all. There we go. And then have this at the bottom of the page. And then what they'll do is they'll actually take and it's a fun activity, I think anyways. Let's go ahead and grab the elements. And this is where I was playing with duck. You see in my history, I had the duck. And go ahead and change the color. So what you do is you would put that on the top. I'll go ahead and position that backwards so it's underneath. Let's go ahead and position this backwards so I can grab that graphic. Let's make this a little bit bigger. Again, fun little activity for kids or adults alike, they're wanting to learn how to draw different items, different pictures. We'll take and position this to the back. And the idea would be that they would use this grid system to draw what they see at the top of this graphic, or this key drawing area that you're wanting to duplicate. They would draw that in the bottom. So kind of fun. Let's see. You can see here again on this one that I did more advanced. The graphic part, or the table, sorry, not graphic, but the table I had created, here. You can just do all kinds of, complexity of the table, creating, lots of different squares and that sort of thing. I'm trying to think what else I wanted to show you on this. So we got the dual, we have the dual page, we have the single. Oh, let's go ahead and go back to, I'll share with you one of my other mandalas. So I'll go to my Google Drive. So let's say you have a image, like I do here, where it's a mandala, and I'm just going to put that over on this side here. And I kind of wanted to line this up a little bit. So let's go ahead and do position. We'll do middle. And I want to just do the transparency to see where that's at in there. Okay. So that's another thing. If you can't change the color, like this is an image, I can't change the color to a lighter gray, because you see that these lines are, pretty profound and, deep black lines. You just change this transparency, and you can see how I created that transparency. Now, what I would do then is I would grab my cropping handle and go to the middle. And then what I can do then would be try and find the middle of the graph. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what I would want to do then is scale this so that way it would be somewhat even. So let's say we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Not too bad. Just putting that in the middle. And as I've said, play around with it. You'll definitely find lots of different opportunities to create these. Let's go ahead and push this to the back. And of course, if we wanted to, we can, increase the transparency. All right. So yeah, that's definitely one of the different ways and ideas that I have for you this week, and sharing how to create copy and draw type of printables or interior pages for your KDP books, or activity books rather. Just so many different opportunities, so many different ways to go about creating these. If that's something that you have an interest in, um, there's still money in creating these type of books. You just would need to find a niche or a theme that would best work for you. So I'm going to encourage you to, uh, dive in and find those type of keywords and elements and stuff like that. I mean, not elements, but I'm trying to think. Would be example. Let's say Easter Bunny copy and draw type of printable. You go to Etsy, type that in as a search, and see what comes up, and see, get some ideas. It could be Easter egg, right? Copy and draw, or it could be copy and draw for 4-year-olds, or preschoolers, would be one, or copy and draw for beginning artist would be another, type of theme or niche that you're going to be looking for. And again, you can also use those type of keywords and ideas to go into Amazon and use the 3 R's that Jenny Hunt, of course, shares with us on how to do your research and validation using the 3R method. I think you're going to find a lot of value in using that, and checking out the copy and draw type of books that are out there, activity books, and see, if it works for you. So again, that's all I have for you this week. If you have any questions, I hope that you take the time and put them in the comments. I will be responding to the comments. Feel free to tag me and that type of thing. Or yeah, let's get the conversation going. I'm gonna go ahead and share this template with you. If you haven't already seen it, it would be at the top when this video posts, which would be today at 9 p.m. So, which you probably are already watching. So I guess I didn't have to tell you about the time. Anyways, hope you have a good week, and I will talk to you guys again very soon.